What's up, guys? This is TechnoViking23 coming to you today with a game we have not played in a very long time, and that is Destiny 2. And we're actually going to be talking today about whether or not it's a good time to return to Destiny 2. This video is not really aimed at recent players of Destiny who maybe took the last season off or maybe calling it quits this season. This is more for if you've been away from the game for an extended period of time. A lot has changed, especially the fact that Bungie and Activision are no longer together. And the last major expansion for Destiny 2 actually came out last October, which was the Shadowkeep expansion. Now, I actually had not played the Shadowkeep expansion. I had played Forsaken and kind of gave up on Destiny after Forsaken came out. I just was tired of playing it. Got into some other games around the time, and quite honestly just did not want to give Bungie any more money at that point because I felt Destiny 2 had kind of run its course with what they could do with it. The split from Activision was definitely interesting, and there's been some changes to the game since then as Bungie attempts to take the game in more of an MMO type of direction with armor mods and weapon builds and other things that have been implemented in kind of an interesting fashion. But so recently, obviously, there's a situation going on in the world right now where a lot of us are stuck at home and we have a lot of extra time now. I'm not going to mention what the situation is because unfortunately YouTube is basically demonetizing any video that mentions the name of what is happening right now. It just gets kind of funny, really. But anyways, I was getting kind of bored of Overwatch and some of the other games I've been playing, so I actually went onto Steam and the Destiny expansion was on sale for Shadowkeep, and I decided, you know what, let's jump in and see what's happening. It wasn't full price, so that was definitely a nice bonus. And so far, I have to say I'm definitely enjoying getting back to the game. There are a few things, obviously, there's some issues with the game as there usually are, and I'm going to go over that a little bit. I actually am planning a second video where I'm going to talk about Destiny 2 and the Destiny franchise's biggest issue overall, which is basically just keeping people involved in-game. They seem to have a really big problem with that. I'll start with the new campaign. Shadowkeep was excellent. There's a lot of great lore in there. It deals a lot with the darkness, which if you've been paying attention to Destiny within the last 6 months or so, you know that the darkness is returning to the solar system, and we're going to have our big showdown probably here in the next couple of months or maybe in the fall sometime. But there's been a lot of stuff going on hinting at the return of the darkness and the strange pyramid ships that they've been teasing for quite a while. If you have not played Shadowkeep, these are going to be some minor spoilers. You actually do encounter the darkness there. You uncover it on the moon. I don't want to give too much away if you haven't played it, but it's pretty cool. And you go through this journey with Eris Morn, who's been gone for a while. She returns, and it was kind of nice going back to the moon, kind of nostalgic. One of the things that I really missed from the first game was they got rid of all the old zones that we had when they could have just combined it and had a much bigger sandbox to play in. So it was kind of cool going back to the moon, seeing the way they had changed the map. There's a lot of different stuff going on there now. And I thought the Shadowkeep expansion was definitely worth playing through, especially for the lore and especially for the ending, which is really, really cool and really unique, where you kind of meet your, all I'm going to say is you get to meet your evil twin, which is kind of neat in the way they explain it and go through it. So besides that, the game is now on a battle pass type system. There's a season pass, and you get a seasonal artifact, which you can level up, and it gives you different mods that you have to use on your weapons now. Different activities have different enemies now. They have like these overload champions and barrier champions and different types of yellow bar enemies now where you have to have a special mod on your weapon to get through their shield. They can be really, really annoying to fight, and unfortunately in this season they have chosen like SMGs and sidearms as the weapons that allow you to equip those mods. I think auto rifles as well, but it's not a great selection of weapons that they allow you to use for it. So it's kind of an annoying system if you're playing any kind of difficult content like the Nightfalls or trying to clear out your Rasputin bunkers. But really, if you haven't played the game in a while, you're going to have a lot of stuff to do to catch up. You start off right at 750 power if you haven't returned to the game in a while. And I actually was able to get pretty high up pretty quickly. I think my Titan right now is about 972. My Hunter is almost 980, and that's only after playing for about a week and a half. So It's really easy just doing the strikes. Really any of the old content. One of the things that I have been doing, because there's not a lot to do with this current season once you get through the content, I've been going back and doing a lot of stuff in the Dreaming City, getting the Ascendant chest. I've been playing a lot of the Black Armory Forge events because I missed all of that stuff back in the day. So I've been getting all the Black Armory weapons, which has been pretty cool. And then just running a lot of strikes, running some Escalation Protocol on Mars, and just doing some of the events. You'll get weapons, you'll get plenty of drops. It gets you up to 950 really quickly, and that's where you kind of hit the soft cap. I'm not sure what the official power level is now. Like the max, I think it's like 1060, but I know it takes a while to get there. So once you get to 950, then it starts to become a little bit of a slog because there's only so many ways you can get gear that will continue to level up with you. So it will be a bit of a slog once you hit that point, but there's really not much you can't do in the game once you get to 950, unless you're going after those Nightfalls and some of the higher pinnacle content. PvP in the game has not really changed. It's maybe gotten a little bit worse with the amount of people in it. If you're on PC, there's just a ton of hackers, a ton of cheaters. With Bungie having to stay at home and most of their employees having to work from home right now, they're just having an awful time keeping it clean. Especially with Trials of Osiris, which just came out. I am not taking part in that right now because I actually just played Iron Banner all last week, and even though I was doing pretty good, I was surprisingly was able to compete pretty well. It's just PvP in this game has always been annoying to me. And it's even worse, it seems, in Destiny 2 than the first Destiny now. There's so many exotics with these gimmick abilities and gimmick powers, and everybody gets a super, and you go through a stretch of the game about 3 or 4 minutes in where everyone's got their super, and you just die to supers over and over, and it's so frustrating. You'll be fighting somebody, and then somebody hits you with a Fist of Havoc from behind, or you get hit with a Titan Hammer from across the map, or it's just ridiculous how much, I call it crutch abilities. In PvP, it's just like they just give everybody so many easy ways to get free kills instead of going for more gunplay oriented combat. And it's worse than it was. I remember it being. I think all through Iron Banner I maintained about a 1.6 KD, so I'm not great, I'm not garbage, I'm somewhere right in the middle. But by the time I was done doing all my bounties at the end of the week, I was like, I'm done. I don't want any more Crucible. This is just so aggravating to play. It's really difficult to play, and so I'm like, you know what, y'all can have the PvP. I'm just gonna go stick over here on my grinding and grind out the PvE side of things. So like I said, you know, if you're just coming back, if you've been away from the game for a long time, it might be worth a shot coming back into the game just to go through Shadowkeep. Lore-wise, there's never been a better time to be in Destiny. There's so much cool stuff going on. There's some great cutscenes you get with the new Seraph bunkers that you get to unlock. And there's something big definitely coming to the game. I don't know if the next expansion is going to be in the fall or if they're going to go into Destiny 3, but or if they're, you know, on the other hand, just going to continue going on with this game and just doing like extra content instead of constantly changing the title. And they spoke about they wanted it to be an MMO type game. Maybe they'll just keep adding content in that way. But there's definitely a lot of cool stuff going on. It's definitely worth it to go through and finish up your Triumph book if you can. Go through and get all the lore tabs and everything, and just it's a great time for the game, and like in a narrative standpoint. Content wise, it's a little dry. Like I said, once you get done with Shadowkeep and you start working on things, that's the main problem with this season right now. Is the whole point of this season is it's like the season of the worthy, and you know, Zavala and Anna Bray are working with Rasputin to get ready to stop the Cabal. The Cabal have sent their giant almighty sun-eating space station to crash toward Earth, and so you're trying to get the Rasputin bunkers upgraded so they can shoot it down, I guess. We're not really sure what they're going to do yet, but that's kind of the point of this season. But the upgrade events are really tedious, they're really boring, it's really monotonous, and it's not very fun, which is one of the reasons, like I said, I've done the first level of my EDZ bunker, and I don't really have any desire to keep doing it. I'm not sure why. It's not very fun. In order to get points to upgrade your bunker, you've got to play these public events that take 2 or 3 people to do, and you only get like 6 of the currency after every completion. Well, you need like 150 of these Warmind bits to be able to upgrade one upgrade on your bunker, and you need 6 upgrades. There's 3 tiers. It's just tedious farming over and over and over again. That's one of the big problems with the game right now. That's the current state of Destiny right now, is basically farming stuff and playing, like doing the same bounties over and over and over again to level up your season pass. And that's really, once you're through all the content, that's really all there is to do. So if you a couple weeks ago or a month ago have been away from Destiny, probably still want to stay away until they drop the next big content drop. But if you haven't played, since Shadowkeep came out, if Forsaken was the last major part of Destiny that you played, I think it's worth it definitely to come back and try out Shadowkeep, play through the story, and then start working on some of the content that's available as well. I'm going to be playing through the game. I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to stick around with it, but definitely having all this extra free time is kind of allowing me to go back and play a bunch of games. And I got some other games, like on my Xbox. I downloaded Ace Combat 7. I got Halo Reach, so probably going to be going through playing some of that stuff, and maybe I'll share some of that with you guys. But overall, like I said, I'm enjoying getting back into Destiny 2. Unfortunately, all my friends who used to play no longer play, so I don't really have anybody to team up with. So I'm just going through trying to play all the old content that I have missed out on, catching up on things like the end of Forsaken, some of the stuff there, the Black Armory, going back to Mars and doing some of the missions there. So I have plenty to do myself, but if you've been playing this game since day one and still keeping up with it, I definitely feel bad for you right now, because there's really nothing for you to do at all. And it's not a fun situation for the players. It's not a fun situation for Bungie. And from what I understand, they just sent out a survey talking about how they want to know what you're doing and how you feel about Destiny right now and why you're not engaging with the content and all this other stuff. And it's actually going to be the topic of the next video I'm doing on Destiny 2. It's going to be why they've always had an issue with making the content more engaging and maintaining a good player base throughout the end game. But that's something we'll talk about a little bit later on. Right now, I just kind of wanted to give a brief ramble about getting back into the game, let you guys know how it is so far and what I've been enjoying about it. And I really would like to get back into Destiny. This is a game I've been playing since it came out. I can't even remember when this game came out, back in like 2011 or 2012. It's been a long time, and I'm still on my same base Titan that I created on the Xbox 360 way back in the day. Went to the midnight release at GameStop, all that. So this was a game and a company in Bungie that we used to be really hyped for, and I really hope now that they got away from Activision, they can somehow get back to capture the magic they used to have. But so far, they're really struggling and putting in a battle pass and putting a lot of stuff into Eververse store still. It's like that part of Activision hasn't quite rubbed off of them yet, but hopefully it will. So anyways, guys, let me know what you think down below. Let me know if you've been playing Destiny 2 or if you plan on coming back to the game, especially with some of the cool lore events that are going on right now. Let me know what you think about that. So anyways, guys, I hope you are staying safe, staying isolated, and doing the best you can right now, wherever you are. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you again next time.